Hi, my name's Esther and welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas. Over the next 4 weeks, on Tuesdays to Thursdays, we're going to be reading bits of the Christmas story from the Bible. And today is day 1. So there are 4 books in the Bible that tell the stories of Jesus' life on earth. And they're written by 4 different people called Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. And I think it's pretty cool that the Bible gives us 4 different people sharing their own take on this guy Jesus, the stuff that he says, the things that he gets up to. And it's a little bit like this. I love football. I could watch the same match with 3 friends, but if you ask each of us to tell us our account of the game, you'd more than likely get 4 different versions. The story we share would depend on whether we've watched the game live, whether we've been following on text updates, which team we're supporting, that would colour our story, whether we've played football before, what our day's been like, what we've eaten for tea. Any of these things might affect our view of the game. It's always the same game, but you'd hear it from 4 different perspectives. And kind of similarly, in the Bible, we get to read 4 different views of the same game. The Jesus stories from Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, they aren't exactly the same, but I reckon because of that we get a much fuller, better and more interesting kind of picture of who Jesus was and what he was all about. And so Luke, actually Dr. Luke, to give him his full title, he wrote a fair bit of the Christmas story. And this is what we read at the start of his book in the Bible. He says, "Many people have set out to write accounts about the events that have been fulfilled among us. They used the eyewitness reports circulating among us from the early disciples. Having carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I also have decided to write an accurate account for you, most honourable Theophilus, so you can be certain of the truth of everything you were taught." I like this. Luke has used eyewitness accounts, so what other people have seen with their own eyes, and he's carefully investigated everything. Luke has made sure that what he's written in his book, it's on point, it's accurate. He's checked it and double-checked it so that anyone reading it can be sure that it's reliable. It's not a load of made-up stories from questionable sources. And for me, this is a helpful place to start when it comes to having a look at the Christmas story. Because, let's be honest, it's hard to know if we can trust what we see, hear and read in life sometimes. But this doesn't mean that we can't ask questions. The Christmas story is genuinely bonkers. We're going to read some mind-blowing stuff over the next few weeks, so don't just absorb it without thinking about it. If this story is accurate, if it's true, the craziness of baby Jesus in an animal shed is potentially life-changing for every one of us in the right here, right now. So I want to encourage you to ask questions, to take on the weird stuff, and do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you as we get stuck in to the Christmas story together.